Welcome, everyone, and happy Monday. I cannot believe it is already December 7th. This year is almost over. There are so many of us that it would be like, oh, whew, thank goodness it's almost over. But you know what? I'm Wendie Klem, Regional Director for North America. I'm stepping in today for Patrice Saguet. This is his podcast, but he is doing something wild and crazy like taking a vacation and celebrating his anniversary. So congratulations, Gina and Patrice, for 25 years. We hope you are having a phenomenal vacation. So today I'm here. A lot of you recognize Debra and I. We kind of hang out on Thursdays with the podcast as well. But today I have Debra Schlaht with the regional, oh my gosh, there you go. I'm just spieling it off right there. Director of Training and Coaching for Nehemiah Project. And I just wanted to kind of bring her on and let's just talk about the strategy you have going forward. But you know what? Some of you may have been with us this morning, got to see our devotional with Dennis Blevin this morning, which was amazing. He was awesome. We just finished 2020's first day of Trainer Refresh. Welcome, Debra. Thanks for coming on with me today.
Thanks for the invitation, Wendie. It's great to be here, and I'm going to echo what you just said. It's wonderful for Patrice and Gina to get away and enjoy themselves and enjoy their anniversary as a time. I know the team is trying to cut out as much of the interference as we can, but I think it's hard to do. But we will make sure that we get everybody try to keep everybody informed and help them so that they can enjoy their time together.
Well, Patrice was on this morning for Trainer Refresh, and Debra, you just had day one of Trainer Refresh. Why don't you tell those who were not there or maybe don't understand what that was, tell them what Trainer and Coach Refresh is all about.
I'm happy to do so. Okay, let me just tell you, this is Zoom, right? The phone started ringing and the dog started howling.
There you go. That's how it rolls, yes.
That's how it rolls. Wow. Well, Trainer Coach Refresh is our annual event that we bring together from a headquarters perspective, all of our international or global team network of trainers and coaches to help them with the new information, go back to our core curriculum, support them in the tools and resources that they need to build their programs. We did some teach backs today, which you were a part of, and just help them to have the newest information. You know, we're trying to build kingdom businesses globally, and we need to have our people equipped, have the resources that they need and the training that they need to reach out into that marketplace and help entrepreneurs build kingdom businesses. And so we, as part of our commitment to helping grow them as a trainer, as a coach, is to do that. So we have a 3-day event. And as you said, today was just day one. We focused on training.
Wow. Debra, I have been with, as an entrepreneur, as a trainer, and a coach for a lot of years. It is really amazing that this organization takes the time to put this on every year and just really to serve the trainers and coaches. And one of the things that I loved about today was the fact that we all came together and learned from one another, and some of the strategies that you shared today on building a strong training and coaching business was really powerful. And I know that part of the trainer and coach certification that you do, there's a lot of that is part of the commitment that you and Nehemiah International Ministries has towards those of us who have joined the ranks as certified trainers in coaching. Tell us a little bit about what that means to be a certified trainer or coach.
Or a coach. Well, we take a similar approach into both of those. So a trainer, let me talk about first what a certified trainer goes through our curriculum. It's a year-long process. and we teach them how to deliver our curriculum, the background to it. So the first part of it is around understanding the history of Nehemiah, the training, the way we've gone, how our curriculum works, and then we go into doing teach backs and learning. And once we do the classroom study, then we go finish the year out with monthly mentor meetings so that we're walking alongside our trainers as they are training. They co-train with others as well. So these are people who have a real heart to share with others the course material, whether it's biblical entrepreneurship, identity and destiny, serve with love, young biblical entrepreneur, anything that we offer that they know our philosophy behind it and how to train it and how to use the materials, as well as how to build a business, because we need to be examples in the marketplace. If we're helping entrepreneurs build their businesses that are profitable and sustainable, our trainers and coaches need as well. Now, with our coaches, these are people who've been in the business world and in some capacity, and they want to share their business acumen and knowledge, and walking either alongside or in group coaching with other entrepreneurs to help them grow their business. And so our coach training starts with the first part where we go through our kingdom keys to kingdom business success. Starts with relationships, values, and growth. And we want to mirror that, which Trainer Refresh is about. The second part is how to successfully coach a business from profitability to succession. And then we move into monthly mentoring. And what's important in there is that our coaches then earn from their clients the value of the class within that 12 to 18 months before they're graduated. And now they become Kingdom Business Coaches. Supporting and giving people tools is important, but you have to walk behind them and mentor and grow them as well. And where people like yourself as a center director, regional director, country directors, and taking your trainers and growing them with updates and additional information about how to train. So here's what I loved about today. We learned from each other, right?
Yeah.
Best practices. How do we contextualize it into our area, the people that we serve? But what are some successful ways that have occurred both in training and growing your business, which is what this is about?
I love it. Today I shared a little bit about my strategic plan for growing my region and what I've done in 2020. Frank Katanga, our country director and center director there in Kenya, shared his, and it was really amazing because we each brought a different perspective. We brought our own core values, our own giftings, if you will, into our personal strategy for our region. And I loved that was, people resonated with one or the other and also realized, well, wait a minute. I got to walk out my core values and use my giftings as well. I loved that part of it. Frank is hugely successful as our country director there. He's just so inspiring watching him the last couple of years and all that he has done. I just really loved hearing and seeing the success of that center. But it was even more than that. The success itself would have been amazing, right? But the success in the middle of a pandemic, we have had a crazy year. To me, that just shows that God's in it. God's in it.
God, absolutely. And, we couldn't have had Nehemiah, your centers, Kenya, other programs around the globe could not have succeeded without having a plan in place and making sure that we follow systems and that we're consistent. And I think that was the underlying message that both you and Frank brought, is that you had a system, you followed it, you were consistent in how you applied it. Because oftentimes we try this and we try a little bit of that. We don't have it documented. Maybe we'll do it this time. Oh, wait a minute, I forgot that piece. You're both very deliberate in your actions and the way that you go. And and although there's some similarities to it, there's also some differences. And yet you're both very, have seen success this year. And I think that that is what we entrepreneurs can take away. Biblical entrepreneurs can take away that God is in it. And when we use his processes, his tools, the things that he teaches us to do in biblical entrepreneurship programs, and we apply those, that then his hand's there to grow it and to help us along. And then we need to be an inspiration to others so that they're looking to God for his answers around how to run their businesses.
That's so true. And I think that a lot of entrepreneurs will agree with me that that's some of the challenges that I think 2021 has really shown us. It has shown us that we have to have a strategy. We have to have systems, and we have to follow them and measure them. I think that some of us got, I don't want to use the word complacent because I don't know that entrepreneurs have done that, but comfortable. I think comfortable is probably the right word. We've gotten comfortable. And then this year kind of threw that up, right? Just, now everyone had to learn to pivot in one way or another, some in major ways.
Yeah, but I think that, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I also think biblical entrepreneurs in themselves are very resilient. Yeah. And we know that God has opportunities laying out there. And my favorite saying, opportunity is the intersection of our preparation and God's timing. And entrepreneurs have a way of getting prepared and ready for what God has laid out for them. And Wendie, I'm going to say, you and I got prepared. We didn't know a pandemic was coming.
Nope.
We didn't know that other things were happening, but we put some things in place at this time last year in preparation for plans that we were hoping for women in business in 2020. And who would have thought that we would launch a new program in the start of a global pandemic and to see the response that we've received from it. But I think one of the keys to our success has been that we had a strategy, we had goals that we were looking to meet, and we persevered. We didn't allow the pandemic to stop us.
That's really, I love that. We persevered. It was interesting. For those of you who are not aware, Debra and I, this time, November-ish of last year, we started talking and putting together the Women in Business and launching the Women in Business movement out of our Central Florida center here in the U.S. And so as we put together the plans, we launched in mid-March. And you're right. We didn't know what was coming. But I believe that, God knew. Of course he knew. And I believe he was preparing us. And it is very true. We persevered. We were prepared to see less numbers and less success, but we didn't veer off of the strategy. We may have added some things, but we did not veer off. We knew we were going to do our life groups, and we were going to do them on Facebook and push them out live on Facebook because we wanted it to be a global life group. And the pandemic and having everything go virtual, that worked right in with that. We knew we wanted to do our identity and destiny, and we were still going to do those virtual because we knew we wanted to invite women from all over and not just in, locally. So, we were set up, to be prepared for that. But I love the fact that you mentioned that we persevered. And, here's a good point. When the challenges come our way, and, sometimes if you've developed a good plan, you do need to just persevere and see what happens. But more than that, Debra, we always said that this is God's. This is God's business. These are God's girls. These are God's women. These are God's trainers. These are God's entrepreneurs. And one of the things that you had told me, probably, I don't know, I had been with Nehemiah about a year, and you had told me You said, Wendie, I serve God through Nehemiah. And I love that. And I have hung on to that and just really has brought me full circle. And I believe that right now, that's what you're continuing to do. Even you persevered because you knew you serve God and God is in control of all this. I love that your heart in that. And I love that you've rubbed off on me. Thank you for that. And helping stay the course. Yeah, there you go. But again, so we've had Trainer Refresh. You're continuing to serve the trainers and coaches. We had something like 37 or so people at Trainer Refresh today. Wow, Debra, that was just amazing. There are 37 trainers and coaches who are out there serving the entrepreneurs and helping them build sustainable businesses. That is really exciting. Congratulations on that. How'd that make you feel?
I was really excited about that. And it's not 37 trainers and coaches in the United States.
That's right.
This is a global community representing Asia, Africa, Europe, Latin America, and North America. And so to see them, people with a heart for serving God and serving His people through using their talents and their gifts is really exciting. It was a great number today, and I am so excited. But I do know that there's a few others that are out there. So if you are hearing this broadcast today and you're thinking, I need to be a part of that, there's still time to register, and you can go to our website and sign in and participate as well and hear about what's tomorrow. We're going to be talking about coaching, and we have Linda Parker, who will be talking to us about social media. We're going to be celebrating the graduation of several of our coaches and trainers and some recognition. Patrice is going to be sharing with us about how to grow our practice through our e-community centers. And so we've got some great things that are going to be happening tomorrow, more breakout groups. So trainers and coaches, you want to be a part of this. And then on Wednesday, we're going to be talking about access to capital and our e-community investment fund and how important that is. So entrepreneurs have access to the capital to grow or start their businesses and expand. So very important for them in this season as well. I don't know. I get fired up. We have Nehemiah Week, which fires me up as, we all gather together. And then we have this Trainer Refresh. And, it is about our family coming together. Getting to know one another. I've always called these events our family reunions. And that is what it is about. How do we come together, support each other, build relationships with one another, co-train, co-coach together, share resources and information. It is just such a collaborative environment that is just a joy to work with.
Well, Debra, you brought up Nehemiah Week, and I don't think I should. I don't think I should miss reminding people. We have a special offer that's happening right now. Nehemiah Week is happening in August, and we'll put the dates and link to more information in the comment section. But Nehemiah Week is generally $399. If you register before December 31st, you can get it for $99. That is unheard of. It is so awesome. Okay, but I feel like those people who sell the
there's more.
But there's more. Yeah, that they would never hire me for that. But anyways, but there's more. If you register, you also get 2019's Nehemiah Week, and you get access to Nehemiah Week on demand. And let me tell you, there was some amazing speakers. I've attended 4 Nehemiah Weeks. I know you've done 10 or 11. It was the best Nehemiah Week by far. The speakers were amazing. I learned so much. So if you think that Nehemiah Week is an opportunity that you cannot miss, you need to be sure and register before the end of the month. On January 1st, the fee goes back up to $399. This will not happen again. So take advantage of that. Well,
But there's
Debra,
more. I'm sorry, Wendy, but
oh,
there's more.
oh,
Their,
but more.
their e-community discount memberships
Oh,
take effect as well. So if you're a Diamond member, you get 30% off at $99. It is amazing. And we forgot to mention the theme, thriving in the midst of crisis. Everybody wants to be there to hear how we can prepare and thrive going ahead.
and we've got some amazing speakers. Go to Nehemiah Week 2021, and check out some of the speakers who are going to be there. It's just going to be phenomenal. Take advantage of that opportunity, and don't forget to use your e-community discount. So we had the trainers and coaches. So Trainer Refresh is designed and offered to our certified trainers and coaches. What if I'm listening to this for the first time and I'm said, I want to bring this into my church. I want to become a certified Kingdom Business Coach. What do I need to do? And what's my options?
Well, first of all, we have an online trainer certification coming up that starts on January 27th. And then we have our coach certification online that will begin on the 12th of February. And so you can go to our website, our classes, more. All the details, the course syllabuses, and so forth are there. But and you can drop me a line at Debra, Debra, at NehemiahProject.org, and I'd be happy to share any information with you. But I would also encourage you to reach out if you have a local trainer that you've taken a class from. If you're in the United States, I'm going to encourage them, Wendy, to start with you to talk about what it means to come work for North America and what their plans are and how we can help them to succeed in their church. Because we have many different options on how to roll out our programs. And if you're in another country, let me know because I'll connect you with the right person there as well. So we want to help you succeed. We want help you to have a successful launch and program of your course materials in your location. And we have directors and we have center directors who are there to support you and help you through that process. So I'm excited. I'm looking for 12 great people to fill up both classes in January and February. We only have seats for 12. And so they can become a member of, they're not a member of our e-community to get a discount, become a member, get registered. If you need a little bit of help, we have a little bit of support money and scholarships to help out as well. But if you've got a heart for God and a heart for business, let's talk about how you can use those in the marketplace.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's wonderful. Yeah, if you're a Diamond member, you get 30% off of anything you purchase. So it is well worth it to become a Diamond member and then purchase your class. It is definitely a great opportunity. So Debra, and those of you, we also, one of the things that I do within my region is I offer monthly trainer and coach support meetings. Just like with our entrepreneurs, we believe in linking arms with them. We believe in walking alongside them. And we do the same thing for our trainers and coaches. You announced today that we're going to be doing a quarterly. You'll be offering quarterly meetings for the training and coaches. Those within U.S., Canada, and Haiti, they are invited to my monthly trainer and coach meetings. Again, let's link arms. It's that continuing support and mentorship. But that's not even all of it. We also have the forum. We have our forums on our web on our e-community that they can also connect with.
We have a number of forums on our e-community, whether it's a regional forum or a specific forum that people are looking at. We even have places for those who are in their business life cycle stages. So whether you've got a business idea and you want to connect with others who have ideas, but you're not sure what to do with it, you're in the startup phase, whether you've got break even, profitability, sustainability, scalability, and succession. We have separate forms for all of those. You want to know more about COVID-19 and how we can survive through that. What are some options there? We have forums around that as well. So there's a lot of resources that we bring to our e-community platform. It is the one place for Christian business owners to become and leaders to come to. Our marketplace, where you can post your business and have access, drive people there using your social media platforms and others. A number of tools that we are helping our entrepreneurs, biblical entrepreneurs, be able to use in order to connect with business leaders around the globe and promote their businesses.
That's great. Debra, I think too that persevering through these times, I think that that's what we need to do. Stay focused on the positive, keep our eyes on the Lord. And one of the things that so let me go back. So we've talked about Trainer and Coach Refresh. Thank you, Debra. Your leadership in all of that and your love and devotion to the trainers and coaches globally. We just from your regional director, we just can't thank you enough for all that you do for us, and all of the continuing innovation that you are putting together. We didn't even touch the surface of all the tools and resources that you and the team produce for the trainers and coaches. Is just amazing. I want to kind of change gears real quick. I want to look to 2021. So we talked about raising up trainers and coaches. By the way, trainer certification, you said you had 8? Or you had 12, you only have 8, because I've taken 3, and I saw Samantha from Malaysia said that they are taking one of those slots. So you only have 8 left.
Oh, good.
So yeah, you're going to want to make sure we get registered and signed up for that. But let's talk about 2021. There's 2 big things that are happening within, and we don't have a lot of time, so I'm going to focus on 2 of the many things that you have. I want to talk about women in business, and then I also want to kind of go into the centers, because we've been hearing a lot about that. We talked about Frank and I and what we shared at Trainer Refresh. You mentioned how the coaches can coach through the centers. Let's start with women in business. So we launched women in business in the U.S. through the Central Florida Center here. So excited. We started by building a social community. So super excited. Let me make sure my number's correct. We are at 456 women within that social community since March. So really excited about that. But what are your plans for 2021? What does that look like?
Well, I'm very excited about this. I've held this dream for, I don't know, about 10 years, that women needed a place to talk about their particular concerns and interests in the marketplace. So whether they own a business, they're a leader in a business, or they support a business, how do we maintain our families and support our core values and live those out? And honor our families and our other commitments. And so I've been just so blessed, first of all, to team up with you and help me to co-launch this together. We thought if it could work in Orlando, we can take this and expand it. And so next year, I'm looking at 3 different centers in which to geographical centers in which to launch. I want to been talking with people from our Nairobi center about launching a women in business program there. We've had, as you know, a number of women who attend our Friday morning life groups, our devotional series that we've done, although it's in the Friday evening for them. And their support has just been phenomenal. And so we see that there's an opportunity, not only with a life group, but to talk about their concerns around business and how we can help support them through Identity and Destiny, BE certificate, and BSA as well. The other place I'm looking at is in in France. We have a great partner there with Bijou Kunzi, who is opening the Paris e-community center and is a great connector with women as well. And then a third area, I know this is going to sound strange. It's either or. I'm either looking at Malaysia or at Mexico. I'm not sure. That's continents and seas, oceans apart. But
Yeah.
one of those areas are going to rise up, I think, maybe towards the end of next year, that we can really move into and raise the program. My vision is that we would have local areas throughout the world. Local centers would be offering women in business programs. Women are entrepreneurial. They have a heart for their families. They want to be able to support and help them. And some of them are sole providers for their families. And how do they do that and get the tools that they need and support? So I want to serve that marketplace so that that they have what they need in order to be successful, that they're heard from as well. And so as we look around, there's a lot of opportunity. Even here in the United States, Wendie, I know that you've opened up a center. We're going to be opening up a women in business here in the Portland area. We have room all across this nation to add other women in business programs.
Yes, we are so excited. Elizabeth Ingram, she opened up a second life group for women in business, and she opened up our first Connect group that is for just women in business. So we're really excited about that. So if you want more information to either attend that group or ours, please reach out to us. We'd love to have you. So women in business. Now you missed one other thing that I've heard a rumor. I'm gonna let's see. We're gonna make it go shh. We'll keep it just between us about this little rumor.
All right. I know where you're going.
I know. So I've heard a little rumor that there might possibly be something in the way of a conference.
That's so true. So what we're going to, in Nehemiah Week, another reason for you to register now, during Nehemiah Week, Patrice has given us a window of time for us to have a breakout group for women in business. And I understand that we're going to have a men's group as well, just to talk about what those specific issues are where we can share our hearts. You know, it's not that women do not like to work with men. We do. And it's not about women versus men. It has nothing to do with that or with, women's liberation. It is about how do we find our freedom in Christ and through the truth and how we do work and addressing information that we can only talk about with other women or men can only talk about with other men. And so that we can strengthen our relationships with men and in our lives, whether it's our spouse or our coworkers or our children, or their family members. So I'm excited about this breakout session, what we're going to be doing. I've been playing around with the Titus 2 woman and some of the admonition there that we've received. And so I'm going to be working on what that message might look like. And then in 2022, we're going to have a Women in Business conference. So just like we had a trainer refresh, we're going to have a Women in Business conference in 2022. And I'm excited about that. I don't know if it's going to be in conjunction with Nehemiah Week, a separate timeline yet, but women, take a look at that because we are a force. And we need to be served, and I can't wait to minister to this group of people.
Oh, I am so excited. And I think that, we have to celebrate who God created us to be. And, he created women to serve a particular role. He created men to serve a particular role. He created each of us individually to serve a particular role. I love that we can celebrate that together and, just serve the kingdom. So super excited about that. Well, we've got just a couple minutes. And so before we go further, or we end our little podcast today, what I'd love to also for you to do is kind of let us know what's happening with the centers. I know we've had a number of them open up this year. What does 2021 look like for the e-community centers?
Wow, the e-community center we discovered last year, again in preparation for COVID, is that our people like to come together. They wanted to be in an essential place, a physical place where they could join up with other entrepreneurs and receive training, go to meetings, seminars, and so forth. And so we devised this idea of an e-community center, physical location. Wendie, you're lucky that you have yours already open. You opened in the middle of COVID-19 in a place where there is even office space that entrepreneurs can lease from you. So as part of that, we started opening and launching these particular areas. And we have some that are virtual only right now as we wait out the pandemic and we see about our ability to serve and have the resources and means to open those physical centers. But we have a number of them. You have, I don't know, several in the United States that are just waiting to launch. Our Urban Impact in North Carolina with under Charles Kearse and his wife Cherise. We're looking at Seattle with Jeff Colombo. We have Tampa. I think you have a couple in Tampa that you're looking at as well. So there are many within the United States. We have one in Vancouver, Washington. This one place where we can come and get training, coaching, access to capital. We can have entrepreneurs who we can pray with, where we can get business services and other types of support that we need to run our businesses. Internationally, we have centers that are in Kenya, virtual center there. We have two in the Congo, one in Lumumbashi that will be opening, and one in Kinshasa. We have a number of people that are looking perhaps even in Uganda and other places that might be coming up, as well as in Europe. We're looking at Paris, as I said earlier, with Bijou. In Canada as well, Malaysia is another resource. So we have a number of them that are on the books for next year. I think we're going to see an explosion as we're able to come out of this COVID-19. Our goal is 25 centers that are serving and helping to raise up jobs, 100,000 jobs over the next 10 years. So we're excited about that.
Wow, that is very exciting. Here in the Central Florida Center, we're really excited. We're partnering with the Christian Chamber, our Women in Business movement, and our business development workshops. We have one happening on Wednesday this week. So ladies, you're welcome to join us from 9 to 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Lanice is going to be talking about 3 strategies of relieving stress in this season, which I know I need that. I think I probably need more than 3, but she's going to give us the top 3. I'm excited about that. But we're partnering with the Christian Chamber in developing those relationships. I met with a lady last week from the Apopka Chamber. We're going to be joining the Apopka Chamber this upcoming week. And, one of the things that I'm super excited about is we're going to partner with the Apopka Chamber as well. And they are going to be, leaning into the e-community center here on serving the entrepreneurs here locally. And I'm going to tell you, I was so honored, overwhelmed. There was a lot of things that this is a secular chamber. This is not the Apopka Christian Chamber, that they are seeing the value in what we bring to the marketplace. Super excited to be walking alongside with them as well. Looking to partner with chambers. I think that's I know that's part of my strategy here in the U.S. is building those partnerships. So for our centers moving forward, I know Frank does the same thing there in Kenya. He's just really great in partnering with local churches to bring the entrepreneurship programs. And the centers are so valuable. I can tell you as an entrepreneur, when I had my business, I would have loved to have gone and been able to connect with other entrepreneurs that shared my value system. I did a lot of networking, but it wasn't always with people who believed what I believed, and that became a challenge at times. So I love The centers, I love what they can do. Any of you who are in the Central Florida area, you want a cup of coffee, come by and see me. I'd love to give you a tour of the center. We can sit in the prayer room. We'll sit and pray with you. We'll have a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, bottle of water, whatever your preference is, and let's just see how we can serve you. You know, you have done a lot over this year, Debra. There's been a lot of changes within Nehemiah Project, and I always kind of like in December to kind of reflect and look back at some of the things that have happened this year. And one of the things that has really also happened is this whole um, kind of movement in building jobs. You know, we launched the Operation 100K last year, and then we just started it, and then the pandemic hit, right? And then it's like, oh, everybody's losing their jobs. But you know what? I'm still hearing from the biblical entrepreneurs that they're still focusing on building sustainable businesses and creating jobs.
Well, we just heard from Anna Maria Lowry there in Orlando, where one of her clients just added, I believe it was 6 jobs to their business. They've gone through her Business Success Accelerator, where biblical entrepreneurs, and using those concepts and, growing their business. I think it's just so important to whoever's listening here today, that it is about having a sound strategy that you're building for your business, that you don't just let it happen, that you are looking at the components that makes your business strong and how to grow. You got to change. Things are different, that you have to do the business differently. That's okay. But at this time, it really behoove you to, I believe, either to get into a B class, get into a business success accelerator, or engage into one of our Kingdom Business coaches who can walk through what your strategy is for 2021 and help you to develop something that you can use and work that will bring help your business to thrive and grow. And despite whatever you see around you, there is opportunity, and you have the ability to see the opportunity, assess the risk, and then be bold and brave and courageous to take advantage of it, that you can do that.
That's so true. And Debra and I are also teaching biblical entrepreneurship together. We're getting the opportunity to co-teach. I love co-teaching with Debra. One of the things that we just recently talked about was how, we're stewarding God's business. So I'm going to throw out, okay, well, if it's God's business, that makes him my boss. I got a great boss, right?
Yeah.
That makes him my boss. So again, when we have a question with our business, who do we go to? We go to our boss, right? We go to get advice. And that's what we need to be doing about our business. And I think that I talked about how we kind of got content or complacent or whatever. I think we forgot to continue to ask the Lord, what do you want me to do? What do you advise me? And what is your plan? And so, those who are looking at what happened 2020, what is my strategy for next year? The first thing I'm going to recommend they do, go to the boss. Lord?
Well, I couldn't agree more. And we encourage as our students to go before they make their plan is to pray and fast and go through Exodus, and I want to say it's chapter 24 through the end, where God is giving the directions on how to build His temple. And you're going to be able to find there what God has to say about building businesses. And He will instruct you on how to build yours, how to create it, what to do differently, how to plan for the future. And it's a great part of the Bible. Many of us haven't looked at it before because we think, oh my gosh, all those details. But if you study it and you look at it, there's great insight and wisdom what God has to say about how to build how to build business and how to care for it. So I'm going to encourage everybody. You're right, when you start with God, start first, right? Get on your knees and humble ourselves, ask God for His direction.
Yeah.
and look to his word, because his word answers our questions.
Oh, all the time. And just being open. You know, we do have classes that'll be starting up after the first of the year. We have our Women in Business BE certificate class. We have one for the urban uh, impact that will be starting from our Charlotte Center. But I'm going to just tell you something that you may not be aware of, and I'm so excited that is happening. So here's something else new that's happening for 2021. In January, we are launching our first Identity and Destiny class here in the US that will be taught in Spanish. So for the Spanish speaking US, this is going to be amazing. Anna Maria Lowry will be teaching Identity and Destiny in January. And then in March, we will be launching, the beginning of March, BE certificate class in Spanish. So amazing and exciting. One thing that I have really, when I came on board with Nehemiah Project, I had owned a number of businesses, but I was always very local. Everything all of my businesses were just selling local, all of that. And it was such an eye opener to be part of the global market, right? And be a part of that. And now I think 2020 has just really showed all of us to be a part of the global market, right?
Well, and Wendie, you have some BE classes in French out of Seattle as well, don't
I
you?
know. Yes, in January, Jeff Colombo and Zamina will be teaching a BE certificate class in French. I can tell you, I never thought that I would have English, French, and Spanish speaking classes coming out of my region at all. Look at God. Look at God serving the marketplace. We are just 2021 is going to be crazy, Deborah. Are you ready for this?
I don't know. I think I am, but I'm always surprised. And I try to have plans.
Mm-hmm.
My way I work, I try to have plans, but I hold them very lightly, because God has His plans as well, and so I want to be able to be nimble and to pivot if I need to, or to take advantage of whatever opportunity that He brings up. And so, and while we have the plans, James tells us this, God is the one that's going to direct our feet. And so I don't know. I don't know how we can top 2020, but he's God.
I know, and I look back and even the challenges that we've had in 2020, it just has been a spectacular year. I have met and worked with some of the most amazing individuals. I mean, we have had 105 people attend our life groups within the US. 105, I'm sorry,
Thought that was a little
1,005
low,
people. Yeah, no, that was very low. 1,005 people attend our life groups that we have spent in devotion with during this year.
which we would never have been able to do before.
Never, never. We have a group that meets out of our center here every Thursday morning at 8:30 to 9:30. We do this online and we pray. That the life group that comes on Thursday mornings is just to pray. If you want to come and pray with us, we pray for our country. We pray for entrepreneurs. We pray. It's just an amazing hour of prayer. So yeah, I don't know about 2021. I look back at 2020, and aside from the whole toilet paper thing, which I still don't understand, I'm gonna just be frank on that. I have no idea what that happened with. I think that was just yeah, that was I don't know. Aside from that, okay, and aside from some of the craziness that has happened, I feel that we have just continue to see God move. Even in the bad, we've watched him move in so many amazing ways.
When this first started, Wendie, I'm glad you brought this up, because, in all things, we are admonished to have joy in
Mm.
every circumstance. that we are to rejoice. And at the time when this started, I thought, and I still believe this today, and that is, how fortunate are we that we were chosen in God's timing to be present at this time and place, at this moment, these moments through history, and that how we conduct ourselves and how we respond to it is going to either glorify God or it's not, one or the other, right?
Right.
And that whatever is on the other side of it, because God tells us He's got us, He's going to take us through the valley. Um, and when we get on the other side of that valley, I don't know what He has for us, but it's something. I just think it's going to be so outstanding that I don't know if I'm going to be able to handle it personally. But I'm looking forward with anticipation. Now, I'm not saying the journey hasn't been hard, because it has been. And we know that people who've lost their jobs, maybe lost a loved one through sickness, that have maybe lost their homes or their vehicles or other things, went through sickness themselves. Those are very difficult times, hard times to do that. But I know God is with us each step of that way, that He has something to show us and teach us about ourselves. I had a little meeting with one of our teachers last week, and talked about, she thought that she was strong in the Lord, and that, go ahead, test me, I can take it. She said, you know what? The Lord revealed to me how weak I really am, staying home alone in my own home, let alone thinking about a prison like Paul, that I needed to toughen up a bit. And so, I think that we're all learning those lessons. And I want to stand in praise of God for what he's done for us and through us. And if we can be of help, praying with someone, understanding the issues that they're going through, being a support or encourager, we want to do that for you as well.
Oh, absolutely. As I mentioned, we have our group that meets Thursday mornings. We have our Women in Business Life group that meets Friday mornings. If neither of those times work for you, please just reach out to Debra, or I will connect you with some of the other life groups that are happening. Because you're so right. What is God revealing about us at this time? And I want to just encourage everyone. We are here to celebrate in this month a gift, the gift of our Savior. And, in this season when, some of us are still in lockdown, some of us still are told not to go out, some of us are still feeling frightened, some of us are still trying to figure out how we're going to pay our bills. Some of us entrepreneurs are still working on pivoting and coming up with a strategy. And some of us are growing our businesses and working our plan. In any of that, if you're any of those, we're here to walk alongside you. This is what we do, right? And to just constantly remember that if you have a question, there's this really amazing book that has all the answers. It's called the Bible. And just pull it out, because the answers are all right there. And so we just really encourage you. We want to come alongside you. We want to celebrate this season and just rejoice in the blessings that we have. We know that some of you have struggled this year. We have too. I'd love to say, Debra, I would love to say that I have not had one moment where the fear and the sadness and the desperation and the
Anger.
lockdown. Okay, I don't want to use.
I'm
Now
sorry,
you're just sharing
true.
too much of my mail. I'm telling everybody how angry I've been. But through the anger, the frustration of that. We've all gone through those seasons. But I think that that's the point. We've gone through them. We don't stand in them. We don't park there. Drive through. We move through that because we know that the Lord is with us through all of that, and He is in control, and He does have a plan. I love today. I'm going to love tomorrow, and I'm going to love the next day. And we're going to just stay focused on what God has in store for us. I just really appreciate, sharing with us about Trainer Refresh. And I'm excited about tomorrow to see what the day will bring, and just continuing to learn and grow. I love for Women in Business 2021. I cannot wait to be having the programs opening up in other regions and countries. So I'm going to just again remind you, if you are interested in becoming a trainer or coach, please reach out. Join us, register for trainer and coach certification. Reach out to Debra for more information. Um, you know what? Maybe you say, I have a heart for women in business as well. And you want to open up women in business in your community or in your area, reach out to Debra as well. Whether it's in the US, whether it's in another country, again, it's about learning and growing together and linking arms. And then centers, if God is calling you to open up an e-community center, a business development center in your community, reach out to us. We would love to talk with you about that. There are a number of options that you can join us and get involved. So before we close, Debra, first of all, I appreciate you coming on at the last minute and joining me on this podcast. I know you had to rearrange a few things, so thank you for that. I really appreciate it. We just appreciate all of the regional directors and country directors and trainers and coaches, appreciate all the work that you put in to serve us. We thank you for honoring God and working for him through Nehemiah and serving us. I know that there's a lot of tears that have gone into what you do. I know there's a lot of hours and a lot of sacrifice that you have made over this year to serve us. And so I just want to thank you for that. Your efforts are making an impact. When you look at 456 women who've joined a social community so that they can link arms, that's because you followed what God called you to do. So, ladies and gentlemen, if God has called you to do something and you need some help walking that out, starting your business, please reach out to us. Join our e-community. Contact us. We'd love to serve you on that. So, Debra, just thank you for joining me here today. I am so excited. You know what? I'm going to tell Patrice we'll put us on the calendar next year this time, and we'll come back in a year and we'll talk about what happened. Maybe we'll have to re-listen to this podcast and check it out, and then see what had in store, because I could never have seen 2020 happening.
What I love about God, and thank you, Wendie, for asking me to join. I love sharing about what we're doing. Yeah, we do sacrifice. All of us that come to Nehemiah to serve, really are called to do this work, and it refreshes our hearts and our minds. But it's about giving, and the blessings that I've received, that you've received, all of us on the team that come back to us are way more than whatever we've given out. And so I just praise God for it. And thank you. Thank you very much for having me today.
My pleasure. I'd also just like to thank our team. We have the most amazing tech team, I think, out there. They put together, they're behind the scenes working. We had Trainer Refresh this morning, and our Malaysia team was working at 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning to be there and be a part of that. So, thank you, our tech team, for all the sacrifices and all the craziness that you put up with and the magic that you make happen. I just really appreciate all of that. Our team in the background who help us with all that we do, we just can't express how grateful we are. And so I just want to thank you here today, and just let you know you're loved and appreciated. Well, we are getting ready to end out the year. A couple of things. Again, thank you so much. If you're interested in becoming a trainer or coach, check that out. Become a member of the e-community. Debra and I have our weekly podcast on Thursdays at 2:30 Eastern Standard Time called Take a Breath with Wendie and Deb. That means stop. Just take a breath. Let's just step outside, step away, take a breath. Let's giggle, let's laugh, let's talk about what God wants for our lives and maybe learn and grow together. So we're excited. So we hope you can join us this Thursday. We do have our podcast every day. So please check us out tomorrow. I will be back again on Friday. I'll be interviewing Crystal Parker and talking about some of the plans that they have for the Christian Chamber and what they are doing for Christian entrepreneurs locally and our partnership with them. So it's going to be a great week. We just thank you and we just love you. You all have a very blessed day.
Thank you all.